my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, bro!
Fishing is peaceful until something drags you in. These 32 real fishing encounters, all caught on camera, reveal the dark side of a simple day on the water. Let's dive in. A group of friends was out fishing in the wide open ocean, enjoying a calm day on the water, when something so unexpected happened that it left everyone shouting in shock.
The shark just jumped into the fucking boat!
Okay, watch out.
Dude, you're not going to believe this. That shark just launched itself straight into the boat.
Holy crap! Jumped out of the freaking water into the boat!
Oh my god. Holy shit. He just smoked me in the fucking head.
Are you okay, bro?
Shit.
Holy
He
no!
jumped right over me.
He jumped over you, bro! Oh my god! Bro! Shit. Was this what you were fighting the whole time?
Yeah, it had to be.
No way.
No, I just got it and it jumped out of the water.
Bro, you
my fish and then it jumped
ate
in
your
the boat.
fish and then jumped into the freaking boat.
Okay, I'm not touching that thing.
No, dude, we're done. We're done. We're done.
Did you lose the rod?
Look at your
the fish?
dude. It
rod-
knocked the
rod's
trolling motor
gone.
back
My
into
rod's
the
gone.
water. Your rod is gone.
We have 2 rods are gone.
2 rods are gone.
Fuck, dude. Jesus Christ.
Only Ryan's rods.
Only
That was
my
the scariest thing
rod.
ever. Shush, you have no idea what my POV view was. You have no idea what my POV view. It went over your head.
I'm dying.
It
This
went,
shit
it went my head. It went over
jumped
my
you,
head.
dude.
I
I jumped.
just in time.
And then it smacked.
Oh, I saw it jump. I was like, oh my god. Whoa, dude. And then anyway, it was spinning. It went in the boat. And then, holy shit. That was
Without any warning, a large shark surged up from the waves, its body breaking the surface with a burst of spray, and landed right onto the deck with a heavy thud. The entire moment was chaos. Shouts, splashing, and disbelief. Yet somehow, despite the terrifying experience, every single person walked away unharmed. So tell me, if a shark suddenly came flying into your boat, what on earth would you do? On December 12, 2015, Reddit user Chris Nomad was out fishing when a sudden gunshot tore through the air. Reacting instantly, he ducked low, realizing a bullet had just missed him by inches. No one knows who fired or why, but luckily, he escaped without injury.
There he is!
There he is! Moments later, they caught sight of him and rushed to pull him to safety.
Oh my god. Dylan. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh my god, Dylan. Oh.
Relief and disbelief filled the air. Rescues like this are uncommon, as the vast ocean makes locating missing people incredibly challenging. Fortunately, this time they brought him back alive. These fishermen from Yakutia, Russia, came across something astonishing.
Иникай матардан наоборот. Оо. На тагастана наара. Самантардан. Ола. Кидден. Уу. Oh, wala. Oh, what narang nito? Oh, wala. Bionki lawa.
Incredibly, they had uncovered mammoth tusks lying in the river. In this part of the country, locals often dig along the riverbanks in search of tusks, as they are considered extremely valuable. 2 fishermen chose to cast their lines in the middle of a thunderstorm. Without warning, lightning struck the water close to their spot. One man, holding a rod that was partially submerged, felt the jolt travel through it. Their rubber clothing offered some protection, but the rod became a direct path for the electricity. The shock clearly startled them, likely making them reconsider their choice. Reddit user MotorCity Magnetfish was out magnet fishing when he made a discovery that turned from curiosity to heartbreak.
I got something on it. Oh. Filled with rocks and paper. Nice polished rocks even.
Open this one up.
Yeah, I'm gonna open this one up. It don't look like urine.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Actually, there's no liquid in it.
Oh, maybe you can read the note.
Inside, he found a jar containing something deeply personal.
Oh, you know what? I think it's a poem. I don't think this is a spell. I just saw something about loves. Dear, oh no. Dear Daddy, I wish you can come back and stay. I wish you never died so we could have spent more time together. And now it feels like I have no one. I wish that if you were alive, I could have everybody. I feel nobody loves me. Love, Journey. Okay. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
It is devastating. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I got chills. Oh man.
After posting the footage, he was contacted by Journey and her family, who explained that the jar had sentimental value and had been in the river for more than a decade. Her grandmother said the video brought back warm memories, and they were grateful he returned it to the water. Two young men were enjoying a fishing trip at Bucks County Pond when their peaceful day was cut short by a man who claimed to be a state trooper and accused them of trespassing.
Yeah? This is your fish? This is your fish? What? How? We'll leave right here. We'll up.
Even though the anglers remained calm, apologizing and preparing to leave, the man kept confronting them until he said something truly alarming.
Get him and get out of here. I'm going to show you something. You see that sign? See them signs posted here? Yeah. I catch you in here. I catch you on my ground. One here. I'll blow your brains out. I'm a state trooper, and I'll get away with it.
Not wanting the situation to escalate, the fishermen left immediately, still unsettled as they wondered what the man might have done had they refused to go. On October 15, 2024, fisherman Will Kayakero, well known for his kayak fishing videos, had an outing take an unexpected and grim turn. While fishing with friends at the Salto Grande Reservoir in São Paulo, Brazil, the group was enjoying their day when they caught the scent of something unusual.
Caramba, agora aquela carniça lá, tem bicho morto aqui, ó. Aqui.
At first, Will assumed it might be a dead capybara, but when he went to check, he instead discovered the body of a human, still wearing shoes. He immediately called the authorities and stayed at the location until they arrived. The remains were eventually removed, and police opened an investigation into the matter. Out of respect, Will did not film the officials at work, but later shared the story of what he had witnessed. His account quickly spread online and was picked up by a news outlet later that same day. Who the victim was and what led to their death is still unknown. In 2016, a family was fishing near Wild Horse Lake at Steens Mountain, Oregon, when they spotted a massive figure moving quickly in the distance.
2016, Wild Horse Lake. Made her down here now. Just make her out.
Dad, what is that?
Wow, what is that? A bear.
The father hurried to grab his camera, but by the time he aimed, the figure had vanished. Fortunately, one of his daughters managed to snap a photo in time. Steens Mountain is a remote, heavily forested region, making it a hotspot for alleged sightings of mysterious creatures like Bigfoot. Skeptics suggest it may have been nothing more than a hiker in the distance, but to me, it doesn't quite look like just an ordinary person. A group of tourists was enjoying a calm boat ride, recording a hippo as it moved through its natural habitat. But the scene turned dangerous in seconds when the animal suddenly grew agitated and began charging toward the boat.
Oto jak hipopotamy reagują na intruzów na swoim terytorium. Przy takich olbrzymach nawet ludzie w łodziach nie mogą czuć się bezpiecznie.
Despite being herbivores, hippos are famously aggressive and are responsible for more human fatalities in Africa than lions. Fortunately, the vessel was able to speed away, leaving the passengers rattled but unharmed. While magnet fishing, a group of friends pulled up something they never expected.
Dude, no fucking way, you got a Glock. Is that a Glock?
Yeah, it's a Glock.
Dude,
no way.
Just guess it, that's fresh.
Inside a bag pulled from a Baltimore river was a fresh-looking handgun.
Does it slide back?
Yeah.
Clear it.
Oh, oh, it's loaded.
It's loaded.
Oh, it's got a laser sight that was with it. Look at all these hollow points. This is definitely some type of murder weapon.
It's a P80. I guess it's some type of Glock.
Yeah, it's a P80. That's not even a Glock then. Serial numbers, you see, completely gone. Probably a ghost Glock.
Baltimore City 911, the location of your emergency.
How'd you get it?
With the magnet.
You got your ID on you?
Yeah. Do you need gloves? I hope these fit.
Thanks, buddy. My name's Officer Hooper. Here's all of my information. This is the report number that's going to be filed under. So basically all we do is we submit it, try to see if there's any numbers on it.
Initially, they had called the non-emergency line, but were redirected to 911 due to the potential danger. The uploader later noted that a shooting had taken place just up the road only weeks earlier, raising the question, could this firearm be linked to that incident? A group of friends was out on their boat, enjoying a calm day of fishing, when things suddenly took a turn.
Esse motor aqui, isso ali, a abelha.
É, né? A faca, né?
Olha que tá o motor aqui nosso. Tu é doido, velho.
A massive swarm of bees had taken over their boat. With nowhere to run, they found themselves trapped, surrounded by the relentless buzzing cloud. The aggressive insects made it almost impossible to fight back or find safety. In the end, the friends had no option but to abandon the vessel, spending the rest of the day swimming toward shore while carefully towing the boat behind them. Later, during a fishing trip, a couple decided to test an unusual approach, using a hot dog as bait. As they lowered the hot dog into the water, a large fish suddenly lunged upward and grabbed it. In the process, the fish ended up biting the girlfriend's hand. Fortunately, it released her almost immediately and swam off, leaving her startled but without any serious injury.
Straight out of a Predator movie, isn't it?
Yeah, scary, right?
Alien. Almost looks as handsome as you, Steve.
Inside the fish's mouth, they discovered a tongue-eating parasite. This parasite cuts the blood supply to the fish's tongue, causing it to drop off, then latches onto the remaining stump in its place. A disturbing yet strangely fascinating discovery. A group of fishermen noticed a massive figure moving through the water and quickly reached for their camera to capture the moment. They soon realized they had filmed rare footage of a sturgeon gliding just beneath their boat. The sight of its broad dragon-like back breaking the surface was mesmerizing, giving the fish an almost mythical appearance. A man went bushcrafting in Rivington, a location tied to eerie legends of a demonic headless horseman. He set up his hammock in a secluded spot, away from other campers. As night fell, unsettling noises began to echo through the trees.
I keep hearing movement in the woods behind me. The woods behind the camera, shall I say, in front of me. And then. So I don't know if they're making their way over this side because they might have seen my light, or it could be other people coming down here. Right, so I'm literally just here in the hammock, and all of a sudden all I hear is bang, 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 like 3 gunshots. It's literally what it sounded like, 3 gunshots. So I looked over to where those other lads are camping. You can see the torches moving through the trees. And every now and then, just lay there, I can hear, granted it could be animals, but it's not constant, it's like going through the trees. And then when I sit up and look, nothing. But then there was those 3 gunshots, which has put me on edge a little bit. So I'm going to pack the hammock up and I'm going to bugger off somewhere else, completely out the way from where these are. They've gone very quiet as well, which is a little bit concerning. But I think, yeah, get off this beach, get out, away from the open, and try and get further into the woods. Who's there? Somebody's just flung. I've seen it as well. I think, yeah, it was this one. Somebody's just lobbed that from over there. Hey! Who's there? I'm just trying to camp just like you lads. Flash over there. Yeah. See the flashing? Flashing over there. Yeah, they're coming this way. Let's see if I turn that out. Yeah, might be able to see it now. Yeah, there's flashing coming through the woods. Seems to be quite a few of them as well. Right. Okay. Maybe I'm not welcome here. I just need to get this last bit down and then I'm getting my ass out of this part.
Even after relocating, the sense of being watched never left. His walk eventually took him to an old castle, but the unease only grew. Realizing he wasn't going to feel safe anywhere in the area, he decided it was best to call it a night and leave entirely. During a fishing trip, a man exploring a quiet, untouched stretch of a stream came across something unexpected. A hidden cave.
Is that a cave? No way. There's a cave right there. What do we got in here? Oh boy.
Curiosity got the better of him, and he stepped inside. As he ventured deeper into the darkness, he began spotting unsettling things.
What do we got in here? Oh boy. This is nice. Is that a head? Oh my gosh, it's a head. No way. What is that? Is that a coyote? I'm not very smart on which heads these bones are, but it looks like a coyote, I'm pretty sure. Get it over here. Wow, there's really not much else in here, but you could easily probably get all the way back in there and stand up. I don't know, we're gonna try it. More bones on the ground here. There's actually quite a lot of room. We got another bone right there. Some stuff back in there, a lot of bugs, bones. That's just a stick. No writing.
He noticed more bones scattered on the ground, some deep enough in the cave that a person could stand upright. Bugs crawled among the debris, and a few more bones were visible near the back. That's just a stick. No writing or markings. A skull, possibly from a coyote, along with other scattered remains, didn't frighten him, but it did spark his curiosity. After a short look around, he left the cave and continued with his fishing trip. Reddit user RedRobin7 was out fishing when he reeled in something truly unusual. A strange, translucent creature. It turned out to be a salp, a gelatinous type of zooplankton found drifting in oceans worldwide. The footage also showcased Phronima, a unique predator that latches onto a salp. Using its strong front claws, it hollows out the interior and shapes it into a barrel-like casing. Phronima then climbs inside, turning the empty shell into a mobile shelter while gathering food from the surrounding waters. While exploring, he came across something unusual. Massive, strange footprints leading up a hill.
But as I came up here, and this is my track here, goes up the hill, and I walked up here to this edge and I saw these. Huge footprints. Let's see here. It's hard to see the screen because there's one right here, and one right here, up there, and they go right up the hill. And these are mine over here. They go right up the hill, and I'll take you up there and show you where they go.
Intrigued, he decided to follow the trail. But as he reached the top, the tracks abruptly vanished.
That is huge. That is a huge print.
What made it even stranger was that the location could only be accessed by boat, leaving the origin of the prints a complete mystery. They're huge. Look at my hand inside one. That thing is massive. That's a huge print. He speculated that they might belong to something as large as Bigfoot. A man set out to fish in one of the riskiest ways possible: cliff fishing in Western Australia.
Alright, welcome everyone. Another mission. This one's a pretty big one. You might be wondering what the hell this thing is doing here out in the middle of nowhere. So behind me there's a big cliff and there's no good platform to fish from. There's one platform. I fished from it with my mate Dane a while ago. It's just too high though to land any really big fish. Like if you hook something massive you probably wouldn't get it with the cliff gaff. So I got a mate to weld together some aluminium. I've glued and screwed a piece of marine ply on top, and we're going to take it down and get it set up, find the right location and fish from it and see how we go. Got all the gear, heaps of rope. It's been an absolute mission just to get here.
Behind him loomed a massive cliff with no ideal platform to fish from. He mentioned having fished from one spot before with his friend Dan, but it was far too high to land a truly big catch. If you hooked something massive, the gap from the cliff would likely make landing it impossible. To solve this, a friend welded together a custom aluminium frame, topped with marine ply that he glued and screwed in place. The plan: carry it down, set it up in the right spot, and see how it went.
Ew! Not sure if my 60-meter rope's going to reach or not, so I have a second rope. I might have needed an 80 or something, we'll find out.
The trek to the location was no small task. He hauled all his gear and several lengths of rope, uncertain if his 60-meter line would even reach. Just in case, he brought a second rope, though he suspected he might actually need something closer to 80 meters. After a steep and exhausting descent to the campsite, he faced the challenge of securing everything with limited rope. Once he'd assessed the terrain, he picked the most promising spot to fish. As night fell, he began casting from his custom platform, and by morning, he was relieved to have made it through without incident. Would you ever take on the challenge of cliff fishing? What began as a routine catch quickly turned into something unforgettable. The fisherman reeled in his catch and began unhooking it. But then, without warning...
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, bro. There's a fucking snake crawling out of the fish's mouth, bro. Oh my Jesus.
A live snake began crawling out of the fish's mouth. The fish had apparently swallowed it recently, yet somehow the snake had survived inside. It was the last thing anyone expected to see. While fishing along the beach, a man spotted something unusual moving through the water.
Bruh.
A long, dark shape glided just beneath the surface. At first, he assumed it was a piece of driftwood, but as it rose higher, its form became clearer. A smooth, snake-like body, moving with deliberate coordination. Some dismissed it as nothing more than debris, yet its controlled motion made that explanation hard to accept. The footage, though distant and slightly shaky, seems to capture something large lurking just offshore. A fisherman spotted several large fish cruising just beneath the surface in the shallow water near the dock. Instead of reaching for a rod, he decided to try something different, holding a small fish in his hand as bait, dangling it just above the water. Suddenly, a massive tarpon exploded out of the water, snapping at the bait. In one quick motion, Billy grabbed the giant fish with his bare hands. The fight was fierce, but against the odds, he managed to hold on. While fishing one afternoon, a man spotted something unusual shifting on the ground nearby. At first, it appeared to be nothing more than a pile of tangled hair. but it was moving on its own. Some suggested it might be a parasite, possibly a mass of horsehair worms, creepy creatures notorious for their unsettling, writhing motion. There's little definitive information about what it truly was, but whatever the case, the sight clearly left him unsettled. A group of friends in Australia was out on their boat when one of them decided to hop into the water. Out of nowhere, a shark lunged straight at him.
Yeah, get this fucking... Get me!
In a rush of panic, he managed to scramble back onto the boat just as the shark turned and swam away. The most surprising part? They were laughing through the entire ordeal, even though the situation could have ended very differently. While fishing, a man spotted something unusual drifting in the water. Two pale, twisted shapes floating just beneath the surface. They almost resembled skeletons entwined together, motionless. Onlookers speculated. Mermaids, fish remains, even sea trash. But none of those guesses seemed to match. Unable to reach the strange objects, he decided to leave them be, simply recording what he saw. Since that day, nothing like them has been reported again. Elsewhere, at the edge of a steep cliff, someone noticed several fishermen casting their lines into the raging waters far below. The powerful current crashed relentlessly against the rocks, a single misstep potentially deadly, yet they stood their ground, unfazed. The person watching felt both nervous and bewildered. Why would anyone choose to fish in a spot like that? A group was fishing at a harbor with an unsettling reputation. The water here is so deep you can never be sure what might rise from below. On a quiet morning, ripples disturbed the calm surface. Everyone paused, watching as something massive began to appear. Moments later, a whale surfaced, calmly lingering in the harbor. The group felt lucky to witness it, though suddenly less certain about continuing to fish in that spot. Captain Coho set out for Lost Lake, Oregon, hoping to catch trout despite the thick, choking haze from nearby wildfires.
So this is a trip. We're in Lost Lake, Oregon. We're out here with the ultralight, and you can't see 150 feet out there on the lake. This is all wildfire up here. We're out here trying to catch trout, but look at that. We came up, and boom, we drove right into this mess. So we're gonna try to catch us some trout and go from there. It really is the end of the world fishing over here. Look at that clearing out. Unbelievable. You can see it's a combination of smoke and moisture, but it's apocalyptic conditions. This is the most photographed lake in Oregon, maybe in the United States. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous out here when it is not the end of the world. So just unreal. I'm sharing this with you guys, something that you cannot see quite often. Wildfire.
But as he ventured deeper into the woods, the tone changed. They stopped about a quarter-mile in after hearing something large ahead.
It's back there. It's big. Let's take a look. Shh, shh. Turn it back. This is Sasquatch country. Oh my god. Wonderful poles and garage. We are back. Hear that? The one thing that is consistently reported with Sasquatch? Rock throwing. Hear that? Big rocks. Dude, they're lobbing rocks at me. Big rocks. Hear that? It's hitting the tree. We're in Sasquatch country. This is not fake either, bro. They're big rocks being thrown at us right now. Huge, dude. Woo! That's moving. Oh, it's getting too close, bro. We gotta keep it moving. We gotta keep it moving. I do not want to die out here. Chunky rocks, dude. Dude, those are huge rocks. Huge. That is like no joke rocks. I don't have my...
With no firearm and no desire to film his own demise, He kept the camera rolling as they backed away quickly. At first, he considered it might be a bear driven east by the fires, but the sounds were too heavy, too precise. More like something or someone was hurling them. They didn't stick around to confirm. No other hikers were in the area, and the nearest campsites were miles away. So what exactly was out there in the forest with him that day? Far out in the open ocean, a group of fishermen was chasing big game when the trip took an unexpected turn. They had just landed a massive 200-pound tarpon, hauling it up toward the boat, when suddenly...
Let the line touch the boat. Open the bail. Boy, sit.
Oh, son.
Damn.
Out of nowhere, a giant whale burst from the depths and ripped the catch away as if it were nothing. The men were left in shock, realizing they weren't the only predators working those waters. Back on August 8, 2024, this man was out on the water, just a calm day until he noticed this. A massive snake gliding just beneath the surface. Fortunately, it quickly disappeared back into the murky depths. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.